should we assume that it is because of this advantage? Should we assume advantages that people choose to have multiple sex partners? What is your on the ability of people having multiple sex?
For every gift God has given us, there should be a caution placed on the use of that gift. Sex, God has made it to be enjoyable, not only to humans, even to animals. However, God also that made it to be enjoyable, made it to be in the confine of the matrimonial home. Now, multiple sexual partner as it is has its own rate. We know that sex is a way in which so many infectious diseases, sexually transmitted infection, can be distributed. There is some other cancer too that are linked to sex, like cervical cancer. If the man is infected with a virus called human papilloma virus, and if one of those human papilloma can share it. So we know that sex, despite the fact that God has made it enjoyable, it doesn't mean that we should not take that gift for granted and use it in a way in which it wasn't planned for. By doing that, it can also affect human. You know, too much of everything is bad. Despite the fact that it should be enjoyable, it has its benefit, but too much of it or indiscriminate use of that gift could be injurious to our health. Thank you.
Mr. Walere, I'm going to stay with you for this one. That says that if you continue to eat the same kind of food every day, there is a tendency that you get so tired and you want to try. If you eat beans tonight, you want to eat beans again tomorrow morning and beans in the afternoon. You might be tempted to go and buy rice in the next shop by the next time. What is your approach or what is your advice for this type of monotony in food? You understand what I'm saying? Mr. Walere.
If I may preempt you, you discover the less interest you get from it. Honestly, if you are used to a particular thing constantly, to it constantly, the tendency is there for you to get tired. The tendency is there for you to get weak. The tendency is also there for you to get disinterested. And take it from it. Even if you are not disinterested, the woman may be disinterested. Mark you discover that the sexual urge may be greater in man than woman at times. And there are some women that it's greater in them than even the man. There are women that demand more sex than man. And there are some men that requires more sex than women. So it depends. It depends. But what I know, the study is if you get used to it on a daily basis, it will get to a point you'll get disinterested. It will get to a point you'll get weak. Thank you.
Okay. The challenge that comes along with that is that some people have identified that as the reason why they have multiple partners, because they say that they have been eating the same kind of food and they are already getting disinterested. So because they don't want to eat beans tomorrow morning, They decide to go to the next shop and buy rice and dodo. You know, and when they, after eating rice and dodo, they also discover that they are getting tired. They decide to go and branch in the next shop and buy yam and egg. What is your own suggestion for people like that? Opinion.
Wow. To me, if you are a Christian, the Bible go against it. So definitely, on a Christian ground, you don't have the right to go outside your wife. That is basic. But when you remove that, maybe you go into the world and you say, okay, you test this, you discover that the more you test, the more problems you put yourself into. I have seen somebody who got married to them. In fact, a study has shown it. That you have 2, 3, 4, 5 wives. If you study them critically, though not in all cases, but if you study them critically, you discover the first one will be the best one in terms of whatever you may think of. And by the time you say, okay, you are not satisfied with one, you move to the second one, from the second one to the third one. By the time you go into it and you see, it will just occur to you that, if I had known, I would have resisted myself to the first one. And to me, going outside the first one is more or less, how will I put it? It's just, what is the best adjective now? It's selfishness. That's the way I look at it. Because women, we are the same. It's the same thing. And I can tell you, if you cover the faces of women, if your wife doesn't have any features that you can use and identify her, and they tell you, and maybe he doesn't have a particular odor, and they tell you, okay, just choose somebody. The tendency is there for you to choose a wrong person from your wife. It is possible. So, to me, restricting yourself to one will give you peace. It will give you joy. And it will give you rest of mind. But by the time you say you move from one, you eat dodo, it's not okay, you want to eat beans, because you eat beans is not, so constipation will come in. To me, I don't support it. I don't support it. And that is why you see many people who go into it, at the end of the day, they ended up regretting. But by then, it is too late when the head is already off. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let me stay with you.